And we're live. And Rob's just gone for a quick pit stop. We've had some internet. I don't think that's helped there. We've had a little bit of internet problems tonight. So Rob's it's been a mad dash at the last minute, and Rob's hosting instead of me. So that's a little bit different. Hope for everybody out there, my sound is a little bit better tonight. If we can get a bit of feedback from people. What do you reckon, Matt?
I can hear you.
Is my sound any better?
I mean, it's no
loud and clear.
Usual, your voice of an angel. Oh, Rob's here.
G'day.
One day I want to see you crash into the wall.
He's come crash.
like a rich Ferrari driver or something. Just take out a side of the wall.
What was that drink in America?
What about a Canadian billionaire?
You know, one of the billionaires, they can slam into a wall. They got plenty of money. You look a little out of sync, Dave.
Yeah, I think it's my internet connection is there's something going on here tonight which isn't good.
No.
So
you need better internet, Dave.
Yeah, I know. I'll speak to the getting the NBN improved. So this is the first time I've had any trouble. So there we go. That's the great introduction for tonight. We've got Rob back again, and Matt's just signed a 2-year deal. I'm not sure who with, but yeah,
my own deal.
He's got a new 2-year deal. I think
pushes out Rob. He can't.
That kind of leads us into the first news topic for this week. Is Perez? It's just seamless, isn't it? Perez getting a 2-year deal there. What do we think of that? I was probably a little bit surprised.
Yeah, I'm surprised. He's been a
pretty good. How long did he have left? Yeah, how long is he? From what it sounds like, he's
just on a
1 year.
I think.
Oh. Yeah, because he seems to be playing the I'm going to call it the Rubens Barrichello role.
Is that
quite well?
Yeah. I don't think he's really happy with it, but
I mean, was Rubens happy to be second fiddle to you know? I mean, some people could be happy being second fiddle.
I think
not
when
everyone
you get paid that much,
if I got paid $5 million to be, hey Matt, you just can't come first, I would take the. Yeah, he has done a good job, Ron. I assume he's been told we'll give you a long deal. The 2-year deal is for the position you need to finish at the end of the year, and you should be happy with it. Because some people, like an Australian, might not be there next year.
Which ones?
Well, from what I'm hearing now that President signed this deal, there's more pressure now on Dan to not have his seat. This is what the news internet, the interwebs, has been telling me.
Yeah, who hasn't actually?
Am I still coming through here?
Yeah, just.
No.
You do just kind of stop for a little while.
It's Dave's thinking time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, everyone.
If you can constantly move, so we know when you do freeze, you're not thinking.
You need like a clock in the background.
Well, we kind of
budget cap.
He spent too much. Yeah, Josh was not happy with Max's result. He wanted Perez to let Max win, but there's a Ferrari in between.
I've connected. I've hotspotted off the phone, so hopefully that helps things. I'm back. So where were we at? Perez signed a 2-year deal, and I heard something about an Australian losing his seat for next year.
Well, from everything I've read, they're saying that now that they've locked in their 2 drivers for Red Bull. Anyone that was coming through the Red Bull system has essentially been locked out, and now they're just looking to go somewhere else. This is just what I read on the internet, and we all know everything on the internet is true.
Yeah.
But Red Bull's still got the 2 AlphaTauri seats.
Who's on them right now?
Gasly and Tsunoda.
Yeah, because they said Gasly's probably going to be taking over Ricciardo's seat, especially when his boss comes out and says, "Yeah, he's not doing very well. We have clauses in the contract." It sounds very like they've thought this through for a while. That there's performance clauses or something in Ricciardo's contract that says, you don't do well enough. We can just it'll probably from what I heard it'll probably be, we can't fire you, but we can just pay you a certain amount and just have a better driver that we want. As you call it, they've just put him on gardening duty.
Yeah, but I'd be surprised if Gasly was the answer to that seat, though.
Maybe it's a short-term answer for like.
Yeah, but would you, when you got to think about it logically like a business, would you say, I don't know, you might have to pay Dan $20 million to not race for the year. And then you've got to pay Gasly to, is he going to, I doubt he'd get any better results than what Dan would.
Oh, I don't think anyone that you get right now is going to have better results than Dan. You're still
Gasly's not a long-term solution to that seat. I think unless you can get Piastri, unless you can Piastri in that seat, I don't see why you'd make swap it.
Yeah, and Pato O'Ward's out of the spotlight now because he's signed a longer deal.
He can't.
He doesn't have super license points.
Yeah. So, you could. Herder does just qualify for a super license, I think. But, well, he's also doing the testing as well to get the extra points up. You'd have to.
Would they replace
something
halfway
before you
through?
get those similar kind of results as Dan does?
So essentially, you're not going to really replace Dan halfway through the season. He's stuck there for the end. McLaren's stuck with him for the rest of the season, I take it. And then they just have to find someone that will be a long-term. What
do we all just sit still?
I'm back, I think.
You're back, but you're not moving. You're like a voice in the on the screen.
Would I be better off if I tried turning off video?
But then, Dave, no one gets to look at your face.
We could put a photo up of him.
I have to. I think I have to stop everything. Oh wait, I can. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Does that help at all?
So Dave has now become the mystic F1. Yep, that's
that better.
That works. So Rob and I will just.
It's a little bit better for me.
There we go. So the main people up on top.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Important people.
Just keep me out of it for now.
So Rob, I'll ask you then, because essentially they have to just keep Dan for the rest of the season. Then they're not going to switch him.
I don't think they'll switch him.
But also, from what I've heard, his boss has pretty much said, we're not really happy with his results. We've looked at the contract. We can get rid of him. Essentially, why is Dan going to want to race for the next, 15 races? his boss has already pretty much told him, we're not happy with what you do. Look, let's be honest, we're probably going to get rid of you at the end of the year. You had that one good race in last year.
Yeah.
We don't remember it anymore. Your number 2 teammate's doing better than you.
Yeah.
And you know,
doing better than him with tonsillitis as well.
Yeah, it doesn't help that he was sick at some point. Oh, look, Bobby, he could prove a point, but I think it might be a little too late.
Yeah. Well, then Bottas had that last year. He was halfway through the year. He got told he was getting the arse,
but he had another team to go to, didn't he? Dan's probably not going to have another team to, unless he can use this as sort of like a proving to go to. I don't know who's going to have a spare seat next season.
Or
AlphaTauri.
Yeah, AlphaTauri's got 2 seats still.
Would he go to a smaller team like that?
Maybe.
I don't think he would.
He went to Renault.
Yeah, but that was for a lot of money.
Yeah. Aston Martin do need. They haven't signed anyone yet.
Would they make the same mistake again though, of signing a big dollar deal?
Yeah, maybe. Renault's looking for another driver still. Ocon's signed, but Alonso still hasn't signed yet.
You reckon he goes back to Renault?
Yeah.
Well, Cyril has gone.
Yeah.
So he might be welcome back.
I think he should have stayed there.
At Renault?
Yeah. I think it would have been a better choice.
But I think, like Dave said, there's probably a lot of money.
And
let's be honest, Rob, I don't know, unless you're the one person who doesn't like money,
a
lot of people like money. I mean, if someone told me, Matt, we're going to give you a lot of money, yeah, Lee, I wish Dan did like special guest appearance in NASCAR. I think that'd be cool.
I'd like to see all the drivers in F1 go do other styles of racing just to.
Do you think they should have a work experience week, Rob, where it's like the NASCAR drivers take the F1 cars, F1 goes to NASCAR, and we just like switch it around?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Do they have 2 seats in NASCAR, or is it just kitted out?
They can bolt an extra seat in if they want.
I would like to see Dan Ricciardo being like a learner driver with a NASCAR driver sitting there. You know, like what's it called in America? Driver's ed. I'd like to see a NASCAR equivalent of driver's ed.
And the NASCAR driver on the side has pedals as well.
Oh yeah, like the learner cars that you have when you're younger. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Lee, I think Lee is also correct. I'd like to see him at Bathurst. I'd like to see Dan do a world tour of just racing events.
Yeah.
So Monaco historical, Bathurst, a NASCAR event, maybe the Indy 500.
Le Mans.
Yeah, could he do 24-hour?
Could if he wanted.
He can barely do an hour and a half at the moment.
Yeah, well, that's because Webber did 24.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, F1 Hat Simulator. Everyone's favorite segment will be at the end because we saved the best till last.
Did watch the race.
Yeah. I've got you all sucked in.
So there was 3 spectators this week.
I should have added those.
Dave, Rob, you know, how hard would it be for Ricciardo just to turn up to obviously not just turn up, but could he sort of like, you know, rock up at Bathurst and go chuck us in a car, any old car?
Well, it's interesting though, because there's a bit more going on with the Scott McLaughlin stuff, but he said he's essentially had to change his driving style to suit IndyCar from what he was doing in a supercar. So that was part of the reason he didn't want to come back for Bathurst, was because then he'd have to like return to kind of old habits. So he didn't want that to affect his IndyCar driving, which I'd imagine then, you know, it's one thing getting into the supercar like he did for that Castrol Day thing and they said, he's not far off the pace, but then to find that, you know, the last couple of percent to actually be competitive. Like it's like someone like Stroll being in Formula One. Like you can be pretty close to the pace, but to actually get that final little bit is the hard part.
Yeah. I think they need to have like a decathlon of motorsports.
Yeah, I just thought of another event. They need World Rallycross. You have like 6 events, and you
They have something like this at the end of the year. I'm sure the Race of Champions.
Race of Champions. I enjoy that. Watch them.
Yeah.
But last year Race of Champions was on the snow, so if you're a shit hot rally racer, you've got a chance of winning. But
it does always skew a bit better towards the rally guys.
Yeah. Well, it originally started as a rally competition. It's just the rally guys.
Mm.
Yeah, it's entertaining though.
So where do we all think Dan's going to be next year? Will he still have 1 year left on his F1, or?
I still think he'll be with McLaren next year.
You reckon?
They'll see it. I still think they'll. Chances are it could be horribly wrong. But
the thing is, he's like I said, his boss has already said that we're not happy with his performance. So unless it gets better, and also there's that the radio transmission supposedly. I think it was taken a bit out of context where they asked about the engine first before they asked about Dan, and everyone sort of like asked the car. Oh yeah, are you okay as well? And I think that's just engineer talk because let's be honest, if Dan's injured but the car's fine, it's less work for the engineer that night as he fixes it up to quickly get it ready for race day.
I ride push bikes with mates, and whenever anyone has a crash, the first thing you ask, how's the bike? Don't worry about how scars heal. How's the bike?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I got hit by a car, and my first thought was, is the bike okay? And they're like, you're bleeding. I'm like, dude, don't worry about that. I mean, case in point, I didn't even care about this. I was more concerned about, you asked, is the bike all right? Because I can fix the bike. I'll heal up for free. The bike will cost me money. That bike frame cost me $700. No one cares about the person moving around.
Exactly. So it could have been a situation like that over the radio.
I think it was. I think it was taken a bit out of context, and I think you're right. I think it was just the engineer, he saw the crap and just went, "Well, I've got a busy night ahead of me." Thanks, Dan. This is, who was it that snapped the car in half?
Mick.
Mick. Yeah. That was a proper crash. That's not mucking around. I'm going to give you something to do over the weekend.
It's surprising though how relatively easy it kind of ripped apart because you saw the
snap in half really flimsy.
They're designed to do that more now. After the Grosjean incident, they did.
Yeah, but that's like the shell, isn't it? Like it's meant to. The shell's meant to stay where it is, and everything else sort of just falls apart.
Yeah. But the engine and that really parted ways a lot easier than what you'd expect.
It looked like it was made of paper mache, like a kid's project, and he's forgotten to use. He's used sticky tape instead of glue, and someone's like flicked it and gone, "Nah, that's it. That's gone." Yeah, this is Dave's new look.
Sorry, I just realised I'm replying with the wrong.
Well, because you're logged in as that.
Yeah.
You're in charge. All right.
Am I in charge next week?
Well, depends what the internet connection situation's like.
I'm gonna rename it to scooter seat drivers, and we're just going to talk about scooters, and then we're going to have 5 minutes at the end to talk about F1.
See, if we get hard into the scooter thing now before anyone else does, if it does end up big, we're going to be the OG scooter team.
Yeah, and then one of my stupid ideas will have taken off.
I know some people who did that with the Formula E, and their podcast didn't last very long, I don't think.
Is that because Formula E is nowhere near as good as scootering, Dave?
Well, I mean,
I mean,
read into it how you want to read into that comment. But, yeah, I'm just looking at the calendar, and we haven't actually got Formula One this weekend. So, we'll have plenty of time after talking about Detroit. We'll have plenty of time to talk about scooter racing.
I look forward to the special episode of scooters.
If you can do a screen show, what they call it, a slideshow.
A PowerPoint presentation on why scooters are awesome. I could probably do that.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Oh, that. Actually, Dave, I have a non-scooter related question about the Monaco. They were up in arms because it was raining and they didn't want to start the race while it was raining.
Yeah. Now this is interesting because they came out afterwards and said, "Oh, it's because we had trouble with the electricity."
What electricity? Like in general, or?
Yeah, in general in Monaco at the time, because the storm coming in supposedly, like how I'm having trouble with my internet tonight. They had trouble with the electricity.
So you're about as professional as the Monaco Grand Prix.
Well, you could say that, yeah.
Yeah.
So thanks TPG. You get to see that lovely little circle of my face tonight.
The circle of Dave.
What? Just like that really sounded afterwards like it was an excuse. Like, we were like, oh, there was rain, we're all scared and crap like that. And then, oh, no, it wasn't that we were scared. It was because there was no electricity. But why can't we just start? Like, in the old days, they would have just started the race, like done the parade lap or whatever. And then the guys who, oh, shit, it's raining, I'll stop for wet tyres or intermediates or whatever. And the guys who had balls, they'd go, no, fuck it, I'm going to leave the slicks on and go for it, kind of thing, and crash into the wall on the first lap. But
yeah,
speaking of that, Canadian billionaires both crashing on the behind the safety car, I found that quite amusing. But why couldn't we start the race?
At least the billionaires didn't crash into each other this time.
Yeah, they didn't involve anyone else in their safety car crashes.
Yeah, that's being considerate, Dave. That's a considerate crash.
I don't understand why they couldn't just let him go. Yeah. And then when there was the big downpour, if it's too bad, red flag it then. But just let him go. Like you've got most of them running around on intermediates realistically. Like you've got the full wet tire. If it's wet, use the full wet tire. But most of the way through it was intermediate conditions anyway. Like once they let them go, once again, you didn't really need the full wet. You could have been on intermediates. It was just that because it was started under safety car, they have to go on the full wets. And because you can't pass around Monaco, you stuck on the tyre that you're on, pretty much.
Yeah, I think they should have just let them go. I reckon it would have been much more exciting.
Yeah, that's it. And then you would have had guys who were on slicks at the start, and then, as it downpoured more, you would have had more strategy involved and things like that. More ways for Ferrari to fuck it up.
Yeah. Boy, did they fuck it up.
Yeah, do we want to talk about the Ferrari strategy? How they somehow turned a 1-3 into a 2-4?
I assume the strategy was not to finish like that because I'm no F1 genius, but 1-3 seems like a better finish than someone missing out on a podium.
But it also was Leclerc went from first to fourth.
Yeah.
That was
I don't know how. Yeah, you fuck it that badly, really.
Yeah.
Like,
but then they protested Red Bull after the race because their tire touched the pit lane out line.
Yeah. What are the rules on that? Because I vaguely remember years and years and years ago now, Lowndes got done in Canberra because he touched the line. Yeah. And then I think they changed the rules to, like in supercars, you had to be over the line.
Yeah, I think they changed it a year ago that it had to be the tire has to be fully over the line for it to be.
Yeah, so from what I saw, Perez's one of the rear tires just touched at the end of the line, and Verstappen's was touching, but it was only the tire touching. It wasn't like he was over.
Yeah. Protest was kind of thrown in the bin.
Yeah, I with things like that, I don't know, because it's quite clear you can read the rule and go, oh, well, they're fine. Like, why protest it?
Yeah.
It just seems like a waste of time.
Yeah, I think they're just angry because they stuffed their own race.
Up. I think you just get angry and need to blame someone else for your.
But also, this was a big problem Seb had with Ferrari, but you've got Carlos calling the shots from the cockpit. Like, they're going, oh, we need to stop. And he's going, no, I'm going to stay out and go straight to slicks, which was actually the better strategy because he went from third to second.
Yeah.
So that was actually the right call. And then Ferrari essentially called Leclerc's strategy, which totally fucked him over.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, realistically, they lost the championship lead because... Yeah, they can't do a strategy.
I feel like that's going to be the story of the year is Ferrari just ruining their chance of winning the championship.
Ruining it for themselves, not for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, just being their own worst enemy.
Yeah.
Just to answer Scotty, Dave's in the void. So we sent him to the mysterious box of nothingness, and he just appears today as an entity.
Dave's got a bad case of pink eye, so he doesn't want to be on the
camera. I was going to say it's because I have nice hair tonight, so I didn't have to wear a hat. And then
I feel like, Dave, you need to wear a hat to keep your internet working.
Well, that might be the problem.
And I foolishly packed all my hats away. I bought one of those the M&M, the freeze hats for the football. I bought 2 of them and then I packed them away. So, and now the rest of them are in boxes. So hopefully next week I have some I have some more hats. Wait a minute.
We can only hope. Yeah, you can't really see the Harry Potter scar tonight.
Yeah, it's really disappointing. I'm sorry to everyone that the scar's healing up and my Harry Potter cosplaying is not helping.
So what's going on at the back of the grid? Like the Williams cars are just so far off the pace, even though they have the most amount of.
One of them appears to be so far off the pace.
Well, yeah, Albon had an absolute horrible race. Like
I didn't even really see what happened with him.
Yeah, he got more. I think he got shown a black flag because he kept cutting one of the corners because he just couldn't make the corner.
The chicane.
Yeah, the chicane, and then I can't remember what happened, but he ended up retiring.
Oh, did he retire as well?
Yeah.
Because that was another. Magnussen retired, and they didn't show anything of it.
No. Yeah, no reason why.
Did he have quality time for the yacht? Maybe he's just sick and tired of it and just jump on
the party going
on. It's hard work.
I'm pretty sure I saw him in the cockpit with some glow sticks just jump off the boat. I'm coming.
So Dave, wait, if you're saying that there's no F, is there always a 1 week gap after Monaco, after the race?
No, not always. Just depends on the calendar.
It just seems very convenient that they're stuck in Monaco for a week. Maybe just to jack up their residency numbers and parties and stuff.
Yeah. Never thought of it like that.
Well,
that's very convenient, isn't it?
Well, I'm just thinking because the next F1 is where
Azerbaijan,
the land of fire,
which no one wants to go there.
Well, I was going to say, is there a race on, and then the next week they're just somewhere, they're like, oh, look at the time, guys, we've got to go. I'd love to stick around and do some promo shots, but
they have done that a couple of times. I think the first year that they were at Azerbaijan, they had Canada the weekend after, and they also did that with Russia and Japan, I think it was. And I think that was to be able to speed up customs and things like that to be able to get them out of the country quicker, just in case it all turned to shit like that first year that they were there.
Well, now they've got that extra week as well. Now that Russia's not so that's not even being replaced, is it? That's just no
round now.
No round.
Yeah, they've just they're not bothering to replace it. But I think we've still got 22 races, which is, I grew up on 16 races, and then it was like, whoa, we've got 18 now. And now like at 22, it's for a large portion of the year, you've basically got something on every weekend.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad, but it's also, getting up early on Sunday morning to watch qualifying and things like that. Yeah. It can be quite tiring.
Yeah. I actually find the qualifying the highlight of the weekend for me these days.
Especially at Monaco.
Yeah.
The race isn't much to. Well, it was a good race this year.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dave.
Yeah. You go.
I was going to say with Mick's little incident with his car now in like 8 or 9 pieces. What's the ruling? Like, do they have to rebuild that from scratch, or are they allowed to just say, by the way, we've got an empty shell lined back at the?
They don't have a limit on the cars. It's only the engine and gearbox.
So if the engine and gearbox didn't explode in that paper confetti disaster, 8 or at least right, 8 or 900 pieces just surprise. As long as the engine's fine.
They would reuse it, but that'll be them down an engine and gearbox now for the rest. I'd say they would have lost everything.
The engine's
like you might be able to the ECU and that might be okay, but the engine will be. I'd say that'll be a bin job as well. But they've already.
Once you see them running retreads, then you'll know they're running out of cash.
Well, they already trashed one chassis, didn't they?
Yeah.
Mick trashed one.
The Saudi?
It was Saudi Arabia. Because he trashed in qualifying and they sat out the race, and then that was new chassis for Melbourne, I think.
Yeah.
How many engines they got left then?
You get 3 before you start getting penalties.
Yeah.
So he's got one left to last him the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to make a big call here.
He'll get penalties.
He's going to get. I'm making another big call. Mick's going to get penalties.
But I think if you went through the field last year, I think it was something ridiculous. Like it was only, I think one or both of the Renault drivers didn't get an engine penalty for the year.
Yeah.
And most of them took strategic ones during the year at races that they weren't going to do well at anyway.
What's a warning about breaking your engine e-scooter championship? Please don't do it again. Be careful next time. Next time, turn right when you should have gone when you went straight.
I think the problem is because they have a budget cap now, but they also lost their main sponsor. So they've got a big hole in the budget.
Haas has always been the main sponsor, though.
But Captain Russia was pumping in a lot of rubles.
The oligarch money.
Yeah.
Gene Haas has some pretty deep pockets.
Oh yeah, but he was starting to finally be able to back off what he was spending a bit. And now all of a sudden, he's got to chop in probably another 30-40 million bucks or something.
Yeah.
that Uralkali would have been tipping in. But then also, if they've, depending on what they've done with the budget, you wouldn't have budgeted losing 2 chassis this early in the year.
I guess it depends on how well you rate your drivers.
If I was in charge, I'm going to guess 2 or 3 more engines to break.
Yeah.
At least. I'm going to 2's being very conservative.
Yeah.
He'll get some penalties.
So that's one chassis per 3 races so far.
Okay, how many races, Rob? How many races are left? I'd like to change my answer.
He's got 6 more chassis left.
And how many races has he got left?
What is it? 16 to go.
16.
But when you think a lot of them,
8 more chassis he's going to break then. I reckon he's going to ramp it up every 2 races.
in the old days though, they would build, like they might build 6-8 cars a year when they were doing a lot of testing and that. Whereas now you find a lot of them will only, they might have a spare sat there, but the guys will run the same chassis like for the whole year.
I think they need to bring back the second car, so when they crash at the start, when Sainz crashes at the start every race, he can run back and get his second car and keep going.
Yeah, what happened to the second car, Dave? Because I remember seeing footage of let's say Rob's driving, he crashes his car, and then he runs back, and then it's like bim bam boom, he's one I prepared earlier.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
It was a cost saving thing, so that they didn't have three cars sat there ready to go, and there was already I think it was Ferrari had started bringing 2 a spare for each of the drivers.
Because you know what you could do. This is my idea, Dave. You have, I think we're all aware of Top Gear and the Challengers. They always have that spare car. You just have a spare F1 car, but it's just not very good. It's an F1 car.
Everyone gets a Williams.
Yeah, it's just a Williams, and it just sneaks up on you. And every so often, when you see Mick crash the car, then you go surprise, and then they quickly spray paint it just to say, Haas, and then away you go.
I think they should alternate each round, so it's like a lucky dip thing. You might get a Mercedes, or you might get a Williams.
I reckon, Dave, you either get a Williams or you get an Alfa or something. You never get a good car. It's always just got to be some, or even just an Indy car. Like it's just a wacky lucky dip. Or if you're really unlucky,
a bulldozer.
No, you get the little scooter at the Melbourne Grand Prix that what's his name used to have. There was Uber Eats. You got to do all your qualifying on a lawnmower. Yeah. You get a lawnmower, a little Seb's scooter, a Williams, or an old Indy car.
What in the W series, the cars are swapped between the drivers each race, and the mechanics who work on the cars swap between different cars.
I'm pretty sure they stopped that for this year.
Oh, did they? Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah. Is that why?
Don't you follow W series closely?
I started watching a bit last year, but haven't really this year. It's a bit of a.
You've honestly probably watched more than me of it.
Yeah.
No, but they did. Yeah, because that was in the previous where they did swap engineers and all that the way through. But I think that it was stunting development of some of the drivers. So because you'd really click with an engineer one weekend and then you'd get someone that you just didn't gel with the next weekend. So I think they do carry their engineers and that all the way through the year. So at least you can learn how to build that relationship and things like that.
Oh, yeah, Dave. Just noticed. Yeah, why don't they attempt to rebuild the engines or fix them up?
Probably rebuild them. I don't know.
Yeah, they used to.
Yeah, I take it they're not going to bother on the day. They wouldn't bother rebuilding them, but they could take the engine back to
yes,
HQ and just
So
rework it later.
idea with now having 3 is a cost thing, so that you build 3 at the start of the year, which that it doesn't happen like that. But so you build 3 at the start of the year, and then you don't have extra cost of the engine for the rest of the year. Whereas if they could rebuild them, you'd end up with a situation where, like, oh yeah, we've only used 1 block for the year, say, but we've spent $2 million between every race rebuilding it with all new parts. Yeah, and that's part of the idea with like you only get 3 for the year, is that you have to build it more reliable, because it was getting to the point where, like, BMW especially would have been early 2000s, where they were building essentially special qualifying engines.
Oh,
were
that's
designed
the ones that were
to
like stupidly tuned ones that would last like 2 laps, but do the laps in like 30 seconds, win your pole, and then you put the more reliable.
Then you throw the race engine in, which that used to happen in supercars and things like that. They, like at Bathurst, they would have a race engine and things like that, but it was getting out of control. Like it was something ridiculous. Like I heard BMW went through, it was something like 180 blocks one year between between dyno testing, and the racing. It was like 180 blocks in 1 year, which you can just, the money to do something like this. Yeah. Like DJR at Bathurst. That engine was supposedly falling apart. So anyway,
$2 million for a race engine. That's you'd have to be a billionaire if your idiot son keeps breaking them.
The Schumacher isn't quite a billionaire, but Ferrari seems to be paying for him to come through anyway. So smart man getting someone else to pay for it.
Stroll hasn't signed a contract yet for next year.
I wonder how that negotiation is going to go.
Daddy,
hey, Dad, can I have some money? Hey, Dad, remember when you gave me all this money? I need more money, and I want to be the number 1 driver of my team. Yeah. Also, Dad, can I have some other money for unrelated stuff? But my house in Monaco is too small.
I was going to say, I really liked how Schumacher could destroy Mazepin. Can we sign Mazepin for that second Aston Martin seat? Please, Dad, I want someone I can beat easily to make me look better.
I want to look good.
I want Lawrence Stroll to sign Latifi instead of.
Oh, that'd be the ultimate, like, Bond villain and idiot henchman team. It's like those cartoons. What is it? Pinky and the Brain. What are we going to do this week, Stoll? I don't know. The same thing we do every week. Disappoint our fathers.
Yes. I think they should.
Or just like whisper, if they crash, you're like, don't worry, Bond villain. My dad will fix this. It doesn't matter that this is $2 million. Yeah, Dad, I want better weather. Dad, buy the weather machine that makes it sunny all the time. I keep slipping. How often? Hey, that's another question, Dave. How often is it raining in Monaco? Because usually it's quite a nice place, isn't it?
Once every 20. Well, they all go there because of the weather's so good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
that's what. Yeah, they don't live there for the tax benefits.
Well, if you
go there for the weather,
Dave. I mean, why are you going to live at Monaco? You might as well just move and go somewhere else.
I'm trying to remember.
Islands.
I think it was 96 or so. There was a wet race there, and the one Panis one, that was a wet race. But I'm trying to remember. It's been quite a while since we had a wet race there. So in general, the weather is good.
Yeah. I would have thought, you wouldn't often get a bit of rain. Monaco's meant to be that, fan. I think Monaco is a sophisticated Miami race, right? And Miami's the trashy younger cousin of Monaco, is what they're trying to do.
It's pretty similar. Martin Brundle gets awkward interviews on the grid at
Yeah,
Monaco as well as
they're-
Miami.
They're fantastic. Who was it?
Who
There was a
the
there,
fuck is
there was a TV
Miranda? Was it?
yeah, she's a star of a Netflix show, and told him,
Yeah, but it was the bodyguard on a lot. Like he went up to Patrick Dempsey, and the bodyguard's like, "Oh no, you can't come near him." And Patrick Dempsey's like, "Yeah,
Dempsey-
hey Martin, come and have a chat."
yeah, he's a race.
Yeah.
He did a race
Yeah.
of some sort.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Le Mans
Porsche
race
team,
day.
doesn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got a proper racing squad thing. He likes yeah, I do like it when he talks to people, and I think if you're a no-name celebrity or a Z-grade celebrity, you should probably talk to him, because it goes badly if you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you just look like a dickhead, and then you probably won't be invited back to the Formula One ever again.
True.
Oh, I think a lot of them, Dave, are not specifically invited by the FIA. I think a lot of them are given tickets because it's like, hey, DJ Khaled, do you want to come to Miami? And he's like,
Yeah, but he was good because he was excitable.
but the thing is, he will talk to anyone. If you walked up with a broom with a mop on the top of it, he would have talked to the mop that just said, "My name's Martin Mopdal. You want to talk about F1?" And then he would just talk about himself.
How good Miami is, and
Yeah, Miami's the best. You know, and then get his mates to talk about how good he is.
Yeah.
all right. So we've covered off Monaco, Indy 500 time. I know certain people don't want to talk about Indy, but I'd like to have a quick chat about Indy at least.
It was a good race.
I quite enjoyed it. Did you watch some highlights, Matt? Or
I did. I have a couple of questions. The problem is my notes I put away, but Rob, you can explain this to me.
Yeah.
I was watching bits of it, and then I read up on it.
Yeah.
There seems to be about 800 different qualifying sessions
Yes.
before the. So, from what I understand, there was a qualifying, a sprint, a rookie sprint, old people sprint, sprint sponsored by Coca-Cola, the super sprint. Like there seemed to be about a whole array of qualifying.
Yeah. Also, they have like a week of practice beforehand. Before
Seems a bit excessive.
Oh, it used to be. It used to take the whole month because there used to be like 60, 80, 100 cars turn up trying to get on the grid, and there's only 33 cars allowed. So it used to take up the whole month of like practice, and then qualifying would take a week just to get it all down to, you know, the right amount of cars.
Because this one seemed to have rookies. There was a rookie sprint one, and then like the older people. This is what I was reading after going on Wikipedia and reading up on.
They do have like a rookie orientation program.
Yeah.
So if you're a rookie there, you have to essentially prove that you're good enough to drive there before they'll let you into the race. And if you haven't raced there for a few years, you still have to go through the rookie orientation. So I'm trying to think if anyone had to do that this year. Because there's no one that had been away for a while. There was obviously the rookies, but say like when Montoya came back from NASCAR, he had to do the rookie orientation. I'm trying to think if there would have been anyone. Yeah. There wasn't anyone who'd been away for a while this year.
But there was a couple of new rookies, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. The Malukas, Jimmy Johnson, Devlin DeFrancesco, Kyle Kirkwood.
Is he still a rookie?
Yeah, they were all rookies this year.
Yeah.
There were a fair few rookies in the rookie race I saw, which it seems compared to Monaco, just with a couple of qualifyings and then off you go.
Yeah.
Indy seemed to have a lot more.
It's American. They have a lot more build up to the event
before the championship race. I believe they'd call it
World Championship.
World Championship, because you'd be the world champion at IndyCar.
In America only.
No, in the world.
The
Dave.
world.
World champ car champion.
You are the IndyCar world champion.
Yeah. Can anyone else enter? No, you've only got to race in America.
Yeah.
But we're the world champs.
At least there's plenty of different country or people from different countries that win it.
Yeah, I noticed there was a lot of previous. There was about 10 people that had previously won it before. Because the good thing about Wikipedia is they put little notes to say if you're a rookie or if you won the race before. They also put up the depressing fact that I saw. Number of laps led. I've forgotten his name, but he was leading for 95 laps.
Scott Dixon.
Yep, and then lost. That's that's an unfortunate stat to have.
And that was all his mistake.
Yeah,
it's still an unfortunate stat to have.
Yeah.
He's overall though. I think he's got like the most laps led there as well, and he's only had one win.
Again, Dave, that's probably not a good stat because that's that's saying like in a game of football, you were leading for 90% of the game, and then at the end you weren't leading. So not the best. You'd rather just lead for one lap, the very last lap. And
there's been quite a few people who've done that over the years as well.
The old what's his name? The Australian Bradbury. Just wait for everyone else to crash and then just sneak on in.
Yeah. Look, I'm trying to think what year it was. The one where Hildebrand put it in the wall on the last lap. That was great.
Yeah. Well, here we go. So practice one is oval veterans.
Yep, that's the one I was thinking of. That.
Yeah. So the first practice is veterans. Practice 2 is all cars. And there's practice 4. Practice 5 is called Fast Friday for reasons I don't know. Practice 6.
That's sponsored by Fast and the Furious, Fast 5. Everyone knows that. Come on, Rob,
Fast Fridays when they let them put the qualifying boost on the cars because they let them run extra boost for qualifying. So all the other practice sessions run at race boost except for Fast Friday and qualifying.
Okay.
I feel like my one sponsored by Vin Diesel sounds more realistic.
It sounds a lot better than the real explanation.
Yeah, and actually what he says at the start, he goes, don't do this for the team, do it for family, and then everyone races out super fast. This is why I need to be in charge of Indy as well. After I take over e-scooters with...
I don't want to see scooters running around Indianapolis. Be a very slow race.
It would take 4 days to just get them round. And you know what? Because of that angle, the curve, they would fall over all the time. It would be comedy gold. E-scooters just falling over every time. Let old people ride them, and then let the rookies ride them.
All right. So what else we got for Indy 500? Some good crashes. No.
Yeah, the crashes though they were big in that, but it wasn't anything real spectacular this year.
Yeah, probably a good thing, but
well, it's always good when someone doesn't get hurt.
Yeah.
So, although Ilott broke his wrist, who was the other rookie as well.
Yeah.
So Rucci's going to stand in for him at Detroit this weekend.
I reckon McLaughlin will be a bit sore after the 2 hits he had against the wall.
Yeah, the second hit seemed like the worst one as well.
Yeah.
The first hit wasn't that bad, but he kept continuing on.
And all the crash structure is pretty much gone at that point, so it's going to hurt a lot more.
He's tough.
Yeah,
you're right.
Do Indy cars have the same rebuild thing as F1?
It's a little bit. It's similar but different.
Yeah.
What I want to ask Dave is, do they have rich billionaire daddies that can fix their cars when they crash?
No, but they don't cost as much.
I don't,
So-
I
No,
don't think there's, apart from Graham Rahal, I don't think anyone else is a son who's racing.
what?
No, Rahal. Yeah, Rahal's the only one.
Yeah,
That's outrageous. I want to.
And that's not Brian Herder. Colton.
yeah, but
Yeah,
that's not his team though.
He's part owner of one of the cars.
Okay,
So yeah, there is involvement there.
I just love that Dave Letterman's one of the owners.
As in,
Yeah.
Late Show Dave Letterman is a.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
what's the weird thing? Jackie Chan owns a racing team.
yeah, he owns a NASCAR. He races at Le Mans.
Le Mans team.
Prototype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what happens when I get distracted on Wikipedia, Rob. I end up going down
I think we all do this.
and then I look up and it's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah,
And then I learn nothing and carry on. And I find out that Jackie Chan has a racing team.
yeah.
It's, and then I also learnt the word. What's the Toyota racing team? Gazoo. That was just the name of their shopping website.
Really?
Yeah. Dave, you're wasting your time doing work. Yeah. YouTube's where it's at. Just
You come on here each week and just read Wikipedia articles.
that is the most dangerous thing to do. But yes,
Yeah,
that's usually what happens, Rob. After I watch an Indy race or like Monaco, I'll type in something wiki, and then I learn wacky facts of. Yeah, Lee, I think that's what I was watching, the Donut Media piece on Gazoo.
Yeah, I think I watched that one as well. Watch the screamy guys yell things at you.
Yeah. Maybe next week we can just yell at each other.
Yeah.
We can just yell facts at each other. They don't even need to be closely correct.
Yeah, as long as you yell it, it sounds like it's fact.
Yeah.
I don't think I can ever talk that loud.
I prefer not to. All right. Before we go on to the e-scooters, have we got a winner of the weekend?
Winner. Just an all-over winner.
Yeah.
I would say if you got a 2-year contract with an F1 team, I would say that would make you probably a winner.
So you're going with Checo?
I'd like to think that he's done all right. I mean, it'll be interesting to know what's expected of him. I assume he's just going to be your number 2, but I still think that makes him a winner. Because it was sort of out of the blue, wasn't it? Like they don't usually do a 2-year deal.
Not for that kind of seat, because really they've got the choice there. Like, where else is Checo going to go? Really? So it's funny that there was no talk about money involved. Like when Max re-signed his contract, it was all, $50 million a year, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, Checo is kept very quiet. So it'd be interesting to know what kind of, dollar figures attached to that.
What's he on now? Like, is he on
I'm really not sure.
Question?
Because previously he was bringing money to the team as well. So that was one of when he was at Jet Force Racing Point, India, Stroll, whatever you wanted to call it.
The number 1 best team.
He was probably one of the most valuable drivers on the grid because he brought about $30 million a year in funding and also very good results. So he was a perfect combination. Whereas, Stroll might bring $30 million, but you also are lumped with a handbrake.
Yeah.
You're also lumped of having Stoll there. I mean, he brings money, but then he stays there.
Yeah.
He's like, "Can I join your team?" No, this is my dad's team. No other people allowed.
I think I'd rather Lance over his dad. His dad's a bit of a interesting.
Yeah.
Huh?
Interesting
Lauren?
fella.
Yeah.
I don't know though. If if you had the choice of, you could have a billionaire father or you could be Lance,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dave, if I'm a billionaire, do I have to have my son be my F1 driver, or can I just throw money at other people?
I would
Pretty cool.
buy another son.
Yeah, can I just go up to could I go up to Lewis Hamilton 5 years ago and go, here's $100 million, you're now Lewis Stoll and you call me dad. And when you win, you'll say, I did this for you, dad.
Well, this is where you do the Red Bull thing and you buy a second team and you give that to your son and go, if you fuck that up, you don't get any more.
That's actually a really
if you
good
fuck this
idea.
up, I won't give you a third team. You get one team and one team only.
Yeah. Maybe you get one car.
I already bought you a yacht and you sunk that at Monaco. I don't want you crashing a car in Monaco too now.
Well,
Sorry.
Have you got a biggest loser?
Oh, I would say if you lead by 95 laps in a Indy 500 race and lose, I'm not saying you're the biggest loser, but you're not doing well.
Yeah.
Something's happened.
It was an unfortunate pit entry for him.
Yeah.
I just feel like maybe just an unlucky, the most unlucky.
Yeah, it was interesting. You do wonder if he needed to be pushing that hard at that point.
Yeah.
He had the pace to get back to the front, even if he lost a couple of spots in the pit sequence. So that was probably the biggest question, why he pushed it to that absolute limit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, a bit of an oxymoron, losing a race for speeding. It's not often that you lose a race for driving too fast. Sorry, Dave, you've lost. You drove too fast.
You went too fast.
I drove the speed limit and won. Isn't that like the tortoise and the hare?
Yeah.
Yeah.
An important. I don't know what the important message for that is. It's just generally drive faster. You're either gonna win or crash better.
Mate, realistically, that race was going to go to a Ganassi car. Yeah. So you just had to make sure you were the front one at the end.
Yeah.
So, that's what Ericsson did.
Yeah.
Because Kanan came flying back through, but unfortunately, he was the second Ganassi car.
Yeah.
In the train, so you couldn't catch up. All right, e-scooters then.
Yes. So I take it everyone's been watching the e-scooters.
Without video on me, I can go to sleep now.
Yeah. I can't turn your camera on from here, can I?
No. Yeah. Dave.
I can try turning it back on and see whether we crash or not.
There we go, Matt.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. So everyone's favourite segment, e-scooters. There's Dave.
See, I'm still awake.
Well, Dave, it's e-scooters. It's the race of the future. They had another series. Actually, I'll be honest, I didn't actually get to watch all of it because I was too busy packing boxes, and I foolishly prioritized packing boxes over watching e-scooters. And I feel like I've let the audience down by not being able to watch.
How could you do this?
I don't know. I almost felt like it was more important that I moved home than watching the e-scooter. But don't worry, Dave. We have e-scooter championship hat simulator, who is number one fan in e-scooters and hats. So Dave and Rob, have you seen now video of these amazing vehicles?
I haven't watched it yet.
I watched the second round. I watched the whole thing.
It's pretty incredible, isn't it, Rob?
It is. I find the two hosts the most incredible part in the graphics on either side.
Yeah, it's sort of like this, and then there's a drone in the middle, and they try to. I think I was explaining it to Dave. they try to make it sound more intense than it actually is.
Yeah. But the dude looks like he's just permanently stoned. Stoned and way too happy.
I feel like the two hosts are stoned, and then the guy they have down on the what do you call it, the track?
Oh, the one who interviews them?
Yeah, like the guy down at the footpath. I wouldn't call it a racetrack. I'd call it like a race. Yeah, it's 55, not 56. E-Scooter Championship. You've got to get your. But also the crashes look just pathetic because they are.
There was one. There was one where chick kind of flew over the bars and face planted the ground. They're
funny. I meant the ones that are like low speed, where they sort of like stumble off and sort of walk away from it, and then they have to like yell out and make, oh, and Rob's just done a massive fall. No, Rob's walking away now. He's contemplating on what he's done in his life and why he's doing this.
Who is the commentator? The commentator sounds familiar. Like he does other racing events.
I think it's just a generic race voice that he's learned.
Yeah.
Because he does sound familiar.
He also doesn't sound like he's paying 100% attention to the race.
Oh, none of them are. I feel like a lot of them are watching it on a second screen while they're at work. Like most people who are. They're sort of watching it in the background because someone told them to, and they're like, I'll watch it. And then, the host sit in like a weird void like Dave was sitting for the first hour of this chat, where they're both on like weird mirrors.
I think he's back frozen.
Nah, that's Dave. He's fallen asleep because we're talking about e-scooters. We just need a static image. I think it is the greatest series, though, e-scooter championship, and I will continue to watch it. It's
I'm invested now.
Oh, so am I. I feel like I've already spent like an hour or two watching this. It needs to be watched some more.
I did just look up the highlights on YouTube.
Yep.
So there's a highlights of round 1 that goes for 5 minutes 30. So I can.
No. You want the highlights of round 2, Dave, to go for an hour and a half.
Well, that's the full show. So
cancel all your plans, Dave.
I might start off with the round 1 highlights and invest 5.5 minutes in it, and then we'll go from there.
I don't know why we're not petitioning for him to come to Australia. I think this would be. I think this would be good down Collins Street, like down the hill.
You know what would make it interesting, Rob? The tram tracks. That'd add like a degree of excitement.
Put them on skinny tires so they get jammed in the tram tracks.
And they can do launches off the tram tracks.
Yeah.
You know, like the super stops.
Do it in the rain so you see them slip on the tram tracks and stack.
Well, that's the other thing. I've noticed there's no other. It's essentially just everyone gets the same scooter. Yeah. There's no tire choice. It's just
one of the teams. Carlin is a Formula 3 team.
Oh,
they did have an IndyCar team.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know what that is, Rob? That's the sound of Dave's interest rising.
Yes.
He's.
If you go to the website, there's a big green button that says "Become a Rider."
Yeah, e-scooter was saying that I should sign up. Booby, it's partly indoors, partly outdoors. The first round, they sort of raced around a footpath into I want to call it like a warehouse where everyone waited.
Someone's shed.
And they started on here. It's essentially a shed and a big ramp at the start so they can roll down. Essentially how I used to get top speed on my old Mazda 323. You'd go down the ramp, start it in second, and then away you go.
It sounds like a course for a Ken Block video.
It really
you go down a ramp into a warehouse, do a few donuts, and then head back out.
Dave, you know what else they've got, which is going to blow your mind? They have 4 different stances. I don't know if I sent you that screenshot. There's different stances, and one of the guys actually uses his foot out and sort of leans out like he's on a motorbike to give himself better lean average. It is. It's a highly scientific research facility. That is correct. Where they research breaking ways to make the e-scooters faster. And Dave, they've got a boost button, and they've only got a certain amount of boost to use each race. It's like DRS, but it's not as good.
Yeah. Nico Hulkenberg owns one of the teams, 27X.
Yeah, I saw that last week. They had him there. That's why I was trying to convince Dave it was legit, because they had a guy that knows a guy who's does the thing.
Carlin being involved is more proof of it being legit than Nico Hulkenberg, no podiums, owning a team.
Don't be bad mouthing no podiums, Hulkenberg.
We also got Murphy Scooters, one of the teams, a Dublin-based racing outfit, Murphy Prototypes. So I'm guessing they're just all Alcos. Murphy, Dublin.
Graham, watch the 5-minute highlight video first, and then next week I expect all caps you just writing e-scooter is the greatest thing ever. I'm converted. Thanks guys. And then exclamation marks times about 50.
I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but
I feel like we need to have a watch along.
Yep,
viewers
live watching.
Yeah. I feel like I need to find out what streaming service hosts.
It's on KO.
Well, I think is it actually on KO? Because that changes everything.
Yeah, it's on KO.
I can watch it under motorsport. Are they?
Yeah, it's got a motor, Dave. It has an electronic motor, and it's technically a sport, aka motorsport.
It has a wheel.
Oh, I like the idea of an e-scooter racing game. If that comes out on like the PlayStation or something, Dave, we're going to have a live streaming event of just playing that game.
If you and Rob playing it.
If they have a VR version,
I think at the end of the year, Dave, Rob and I and yourself are having a scooter drag race around Exhibition Gardens or something.
Yeah.
Can I bring my push bike?
No, Dave, that's cheating because you'll win. Because you can go faster on a push bike than you can on a scooter.
They're hiring the cheap ones.
Can you hire e-scooters in Melbourne?
Yeah.
We're down for this.
I first saw them in Tasmania. They're 45 cents a minute. We're going to hire 3 scooters. We're each going to have a GoPro.
How long do the batteries last on them?
Oh, well, Dave, we're not going to do a 24-hour endurance. We'll do like a 24-minute endurance.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, at what point do we then ghosting them into the Yarra?
Oh, that's a given. I think you have to throw them into the Yarra.
Yeah, that's where you deposit them when you're finished. It probably comes up on your phone saying, "Please leave the Yarra."
I don't know how fast they go, but I think
we're using your credit card for this, Matt.
I think we're going to take out a prepaid credit card with the name Guy Incognito, and he will pay for all of them. Dave, I believe Pets might take out the credit card, so it's untraceable.
Santos El Halpa.
Yes.
Top speed is 20 kilometers an hour.
Ooh.
Pretty fast. Maybe if a few kicks in there might get you a bit
so the push bike will win.
Yeah, Dave, you can't bring the push bike because that's just cheating.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll live stream this too.
Yeah. Or Dave, we can or we all get GoPros and we film it because nothing would look better than 3 idiots in high definition. Just
why limit it to only 3?
I mean, if anyone else wants to,
we could invite viewers.
we
it's a community race.
We could have Booby, you can be the trackside filming.
If anyone's really small, you've got to carry success ballast.
Yeah.
Because we're all a little bit round.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, we're not round. I believe it's just called carrying COVID kilos. And I believe you're allowed to carry them for another 3 years. You're allowed to carry them for as long as you had them.
The issue with mine is that I had them prior to COVID.
No, Dave, don't ruin
So-
don't ruin my story with your silly facts.
So I can just call them COVID kilos.
I had
Yeah.
most of them before
Oh,
then,
this
but
is
there's more
perfect.
The problem is, Dave, I had lost all my COVID kilos a month before COVID, and when I'm now the fittest I've ever been, nothing can possibly go wrong. And then 2 weeks later, they said, "Oh, by the way, Matt, no more riding into work, and don't bother running." I'm like, fair enough. I'm going to take up this eating Kit Kats hobby. Nothing will go wrong here. Oh God, why does it hurt when I get up? My chest. Also, just realizing, is there a weight limit on these scooters?
Good question.
And if there is, can we do a downhill race? I feel like I'll get better acceleration. Oh yeah, can we have? We need people with the flags, because if one of us crashes, I want someone to come out on a smaller scooter to be the safety scooter.
I've got a remote control car. I can get that out the front of us.
Yes, that can be the virtual safety car.
That
all you
might
do
be
is
too fast.
It hits probably maybe 60 km an hour. I just don't know how I'm going to control it while on the scooter.
Has anyone got like a grandma in a wheelchair? Because she might just be fast enough.
Mobility scooter.
Yeah.
Yes.
One with like the full cover over the top. Shakes around as they drive.
We could have a Dave. This could be your next series.
We could start up an Australian e-scooter series.
You know what would make it? You know how we could tell we'd made it? If we get sued by the actual e-scooter companies themselves, and if they send you a cease and desist letter, Dave, you've made it.
Do you think they'd have the budget to sue someone else?
They send you an email, Dave. It's all
okay.
Internet.
It's all legit.
That cool guy would be like, "Hey, Dave, that's not cool, man. We're all about the environment. You should stop that now."
And they spell cool KEWL.
Yes.
So what? They're all in their 40s, maybe early 50s.
Yeah.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with being in your 40s.
Speak for yourself.
Give it time.
Kids over here.
Oh, the cool kids at the back of the class.
Just because you wear a beanie. I'll put it back.
Grandpa, put your hat back on. You're embarrassing everyone. Did I tell you when I was younger we didn't have e-scooters? We just had scooters. Electricity wasn't invented back then. You kids have it easy.
Well, we didn't have scooters back then. We didn't have handlebars. We just had the bottom bit. We call them skateboards.
Dave, I think this week I'm looking into scooter rental hire. Yeah.
We need to find someone who has a contact at a go-kart track that we can borrow for an hour.
They could, or in like a remote control car racetrack.
Yeah, Rob, I'm going to tell you now. The last time I went go-kart riding, I was a complete I didn't need any weight balances. I barely fit into the go-kart. It was like me doing Daytona. I sort of had to like bend my knees outwards and sort of disconnect body parts to fit into the little go-kart.
I'm 6'5". I know this quite well.
as a man who is also 6'6", I feel your pain.
Oh, there we go.
So
Dave has tall friends.
Yeah, Dave just likes feeling
I like
short.
looking up. Who would have thought 5'11" would be short?
Oh, there's a radio control in Keeler Park. I think, Rob, we could do your decathlon of sporting events.
Well, there's one in Eltham that's a tarmac RC track. I think you can kind of sneak in there anytime you want. What about in queue? They have the track where the kids go to ride around their push bikes and do like traffic
School?
Traffic school, yeah.
Yeah,
I
there's
reckon
one of
that
them
would
in Essendon too.
yeah. I reckon something like that would be good for it. We can have the lollipop ladies out there.
Dave, I think at the end of the season, we need to have an end of season road trip where we just have a bunch of sporting events. So e-scooter, remote control car, maybe billy cart races, some sort of skateboard event. You know,
I'm not sure if I'm skilled enough for all of these events.
oh, Dave, you don't need to be. This is the important thing. You can't be skilled in them. That would make it boring.
I have many skateboards and I still can't ride one.
Or Dave, we have a learn to skateboard live session. The winner will get a
bragging rights,
a helmet. Maybe we can have a helmet, and it's passed on year to year, Dave.
The golden helmet.
I was going to say
helmet.
I would be wearing a stack hat if we were doing these events.
Yeah. I think you get a hat, Dave. You get more and more hats.
Perfect.
For each event, you win a hat, and then at the end of the year, whoever has the highest amount of hats obviously is the winner.
Are they real hats or hat simulator hats?
Ooh, they're tokens for hat simulator hats.
But I'm looking at the Keilor RC track, and it actually looks pretty cool. But then the dirt one also looks cool because there's jumps.
Oh yeah, and athletics. Guys, athletics oval, put scooters on it, 400-meter races. They've got straights and they've got high speed.
There's I'm trying to think where it is. It's in like Malvern or whatever. There's that the bitumen velodrome that you can just get onto. Yeah, it's not like full on banking, but it's slight banking.
So
it's more like Indy than Bristol.
So what you're saying is we have a scooter series, oval racing, athletics track.
Yeah, we could do street circuit.
Yep, Collins Street circuit. That's at night time.
Yeah,
obviously when it's more exciting.
Well, we can go to the Coburg Velodrome. That's actually quite steeply banked.
That's a good one. And the Brunswick one, I've been to many a times because I'm a dirty hipster.
How do you go on a single speed at a velodrome?
Well, that's what they use.
But I meant talking about a hipster single speed.
I've got a hipster single speed. I can give it a go.
Oh God, I'm outnumbered here.
Hey, Dave, you're the shortest person here, and you have too many gears.
I actually modified my mountain bike to get rid of a bunch of gears recently.
Oh, Dave, you've
I think I'm going to have to leave.
It also has almost 6 inches of travel front and rear, so.
I think that's a good idea, Dave. You just every time someone wins something, you just get another hat.
Yeah.
Everything's just about, and at the end of the year, if you got the most hats, you get another hat. It's like Mario Party. You just got to collect stars.
Perfect.
It's all about hats. Yeah. I'm gonna work on the e-scooter Victorian Super Series, Dave.
Yep.
And we'll think of a good name for it. And I think our goal is to at least complete the thing, give out some hats, and potentially get sued by the e-scooter corporation, so Rob can meet his new best friend, that pit lane commentator. We're gonna call him Chad. Chad the commentator.
I think each race needs to be somewhere that's just a little too awkward to race at, and just not that great, like the velodrome, where it's kind of fun, but it's going to hurt.
You know where another place would just be uncomfortably annoying? Bluestone Laneway, behind a house.
Yes. just
Ju-
teeth rattling.
Yeah, just a pointless. Yeah, we'll do one in the city, one at Bluestone, a velodrome, Upper Hill, or we could do Upper Hill.
Yeah, Bow Street Mall at peak hour. Dodge people left, right, and centre.
Well, we need a nighttime race. I think
Yeah.
that's what the fans want.
Out the bush. No lights.
The fans, a whole one fan.
And if he's not a deadly race.
You gotta find out if you can pick up the scooters, because we don't want to be paying for the scooters as we're taking them out to dirt tracks. You sort of just want to pick them up, activate them, drive, and then Upper Hill. That's a good one.
Yeah, you'll have to look at the rules on this as well.
Oh no, Dave.
The rules of the e-scooters.
I'm inventing it, so I'm going to have very questionable and open-ended.
No, I mean
rules.
the rules of hiring the e-scooters.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
No racing. No competitive motorsports.
We're not worried. We're not worried about that kind of stuff. I more mean, like how long you can have it, where you charge them, and stuff like that.
No putting it in your car to drive to the location.
I like the round the tan idea because there's that massive hill that they're not going to get up. They can die halfway, and
you have to run them the rest of the way.
No, you got to coast down the hill. Go the other way, so you can just coast down the bottom of the hill.
You do the boulevard in queue because it's just stupidly boring when you go on 20k an hour. It's like riding it on a push bike. It's just like, oh, this is not fun.
No. There's certain segments on that we used to race. Yeah. That hill just past the roundabout.
Yeah.
Just past the
not in the car, but.
Oh yeah, just push. Yeah, I reckon we just do an endurance race, Dave. Just see how far you can.
Can we take him up to King Lake and ride him down the windy hill?
Graham, the end of the show is the solar powered E ending.
Indy.
Because it's the at the start.
We have a strict 1 hour time limit on petrol powered talk,
and then 27 minutes. Scooter
Matt takes over, and it's just.
Well, I'd like for next week for everyone to bring at least 2 obscure motorsports events to talk about.
For show and tell.
Yeah.
Because I've already found one for next week, Dave, and it's just as bad as e-scooters.
Oh God!
Yeah. Let's just say, Dave, I've been kind of busy on the small time I had on YouTube. I've been busy looking up some.
I haven't even watched this e-scooter thing yet. So,
Dave, you've got a week to catch up on e-scooters.
Okay, I'll do some research ready for next week.
Because Rob and I are going to leave you behind. We're going to be e-scooter aficionados.
I was thinking I should just do a W Series update with who's winning.
Alice Powell or
no, Jamie Chadwick.
Jamie, yeah.
It's a one horse race. She's won the first 3 races.
This is where that series though is an issue because she really needs to move on to something proper.
Yeah, she needs to be an F2.
But then they like the prize money's not enough to buy an F2 ride and then to try and get the budget from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Is too difficult.
Yeah. Maybe
that's
needs to go get adopted by Latifi's or Strolls.
Also, so he could have like a rich son and rich daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have like a little family.
There's 2 seats up available.
Yeah,
exactly.
Sibling rivalry.
Yeah, that'd be a.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic.
I have not been involved in club racing, Graham. Dave?
No.
I was involved in club motorcanas and things like that.
The most I've done is a few track days, and but not actual any racing in a real car,
No,
unfortunately.
no, I'm not good enough for things like that.
Well, that's
Rob,
it.
Don't worry, Rob. When we take off e-scooter, you can become president or vice president of the
You
e-scooter
could be the world champion.
of Victoria. You're going to go by American rules.
Yeah, that's it.
I was actually, my last car I was planning on supercharging and starting to do track days, but it was going to cost me 10 grand and then however much to fix my car each time I stacked it. So I sold the car, and instead of buying a supercharger, I bought a racing simulator. And
Rob, I've got a suggestion.
Yeah,
Don't crash the car, and you'll save money.
that's the plan.
That's just my suggestion. I give the same suggestion to Mick as well. He didn't listen to me, but don't crash the car. It works out better.
Hang on, what are you posting? Oh, hang on.
Because you've got it set to post as all.
Oh, geez, how do I? That's not good. I don't know how to do
Oh,
this.
race control, yeah. And I think when it gets too big, Dave, we can have fights with race control. And then in the climatic Netflix series, Drive to E-Survive, someone can get fired at the end, and E-Scooter Championship can tell you it's just motorsport, Dave.
Just motorsport. You have to come first to win the race.
Yeah, you got to come first and don't crash.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's going on here?
I don't know. How's that work?
I'm clicking on things.
Oh,
Can I click on
I've just found a new feature.
Ooh.
I was wondering what that did.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. So on that note,
Just looking at comments.
we've covered off e-scooters for the week.
Yep. I think we've covered e-scooters. We also covered the other sports, Dave, Indy and Monaco, but
Yep.
Yeah.
And Dave's just figured out some buttons, so
Yeah, I should play with this software more, and I'll try and fix my internet connection for next week as well. So we can do
also,
this
Dave,
properly.
you should definitely test it during a live show and not offline to make sure that it works.
Yeah, well, the problem, the first test I did, I dug it up and actually went live as well on one of the first tests I did with the software. So that was exciting.
I think I remember that.
But that's all right. We're yeah. As long as you learn from your mistakes.
I had a few 12-hour Twitch streams when I forgot to stop the stream and just went to bed.
Some people
And
pay
then it was a whole different kind of video.
Yeah.
It was all in my bedroom as well, so it was just like me snoring for 7 hours.
Rob, unrelated, where could we find this stream if a friend wanted to watch this?
The good thing about Twitch is that the videos are finished once it's done. You can't go rewatch them.
When would you be doing another one of these Sleeping Rob streams? I'm asking for Dave because
I actually thought about doing it properly, like setting up the mic above my bed and then just having a go with me snoring all night. Because, it'd be good for people who have lost a partner or something, and they need that snoring sound near them.
Just that. You can take requests. Oh, look at that! That looks professional, Dave.
Yeah. We should have been doing this the whole way through.
I know. Give Graham the impression that we know what we're doing.
Yeah, I think we need to take questions next week so we can post them up on the screen.
Yeah, well, now that we know how to do this, it makes it a lot easier when, if we're talking about someone's question.
Yeah. Also, I like how Rob, you thought of that at the end of the stream, where people should ask questions.
We'll add that into the show notes next week.
Everyone, get your questions ready for next week. We'll be prepared to answer them.
Wait, Dave, I think you made a mistake. Everyone get your e-scooter questions ready for next week. We will only be answering e-scooter and obscure motorsport questions. Dave
And
has no time for your F1 or your Indy.
Genuine questions, I'll answer those.
So what happens? What happens on a weekend when there's no F1 or IndyCar? Is it just
I
just
talk
an hour and a half
more
of
gibberish
e-scooter?
than usual.
We haven't encountered that yet.
Yeah. Yeah, leave that one up there. That's brilliant.
So on that note, I think we'll call it a night.
Yeah. Predictions for round 3.
Oh, round 3 of Scooter. Oh, I've forgotten the guy that I jumped on the bandwagon in round 1. I'm sticking with him, and I don't, because I've packed my notes away. I've forgotten his name, and I think just more. Yeah, Matt and Rob can answer e-scooter. That's a good idea.
Yeah. All right. Perfect.
Yep.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
Have a good night.
See you all.